Hello, and welcome to another session of San Francisco by Night, Hunter the Vigil. Tonight, we have a lot to cover on our plates, ladies and gentlemen. When last we met, there was conflict between the characters, as there typically is. Since that fateful night when a few of the players had a disagreement, one of the characters has not been seen for several nights. It's causing a bit of a worry. Our first scene tonight will take place between Miss Fletcher, Caden, and Miss Valentine, talking about the possible whereabouts of one Flynn. The next scene will take place inside Section 9's meeting room, and then the players will decide if they wish to go venture down into the abandoned bunker that was just recently discovered underneath the busy streets of San Francisco 2077. We now cut to Miss Fletcher's apartment, where our first scene begins.
Can we say that I'm there with Caden waiting for Valentine to
Yes.
arrive?
I'm going
Yes.
to have to do something before, so it's better if Caden is not there.
Okay, good. I'm there alone, waiting for... Okay, I guess Valentine can arrive then.
So this is section 9?
No, this is my apartment.
Oh. Hey. Got
well-
your...
Hey, come in. Come in.
What's wrong?
Have you seen or spoken with Ruben?
No. No, we don't really ever talk, ever. Why?
Well, you might want to sit.
Did something happen to Ruben?
I don't know. Remember the other night, right after you left, I received a message from my brother. So,
Oh my god, is he okay?
okay is...
I mean, as relative as... Yeah. Off topic, Ruben.
Yeah. Well, we went to LA, and when we were down at the station, Ruben encountered someone, then he freaked out and ran off, pretty much. But I spoke with Andy, and he told me he was okay, and I shouldn't worry, and I shouldn't talk about it to anyone. And that he just needs time to adjust and settle down so he can be like normal. As much as it can be normal in any case. And
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm fine with that, but after we left and we were returning, Ruben... Well, he went into this, for lack of a better word, temper tantrum.
Oh, did he... What did he do?
Well, he quit his job, he called us names, he wants to, I don't know, do something with Section 9 so he can learn about vampires or how to cure them or some shit like that, or mages, whatever, remember from the book. And then he just tried to leave the car while it was flying. And, well, when I stopped him, he almost headbutted me, so we had to stop the car and let him off. And I haven't seen him since, but he said he would contact you. He said he had that he would talk to you about something. If he hasn't, I don't know.
Real quick, bot. Did he ever actually send me those texts?
Nope, because he never sent them to you officially, so...
Yep, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him. I'm like, so where was he? Just out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, between here and LA. About an hour off. By flying car,
Dude,
approximately.
oh Jesus. I mean, do you want me to put an APB out or?
He didn't have a car. We were in Caden's car.
I mean, do you want me to like get people to look for him or?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Because
don't
I
know.
mean,
Well, honestly, I don't know. I I wasn't here the first day. I was pretty angry.
so he just came back and he wasn't here at all.
Well, yeah, so I don't know. Last night he wasn't. Oh, I mean, I don't know if he was because I wasn't here, but the, not last time, 2 nights ago. Last night, well, if he was very quiet because I didn't hear anything or saw anything. And then
Jesus.
today, he's not here either.
I mean, and he hasn't have you yeah, you've texted him. Um,
I
do you have
texted
any?
him. I texted him today, but I don't expect a reply because, well, we didn't really part
Would
in
he
a
have?
very friendly manner, let's say.
Wouldn't he have gone back to your brother?
I don't think so. I hope not. But what he said is that he was planning on going to Section 9.
Jesus, man. Oh my God. You don't think? No,
I don't know. I know that he's a dumbass. I don't know, man. I was hoping that he would have reached out to you at least.
yeah, no, I haven't heard anything.
Can't get a fucking break.
Jeez,
At this
Oh.
moment, both of your phones ring.
Oh shit. Do I recognize the color
Yeah.
ID?
Yep, Mr. X.
I'll pick up. Hello?
I'll
Hello,
pick
Miss
up.
Fletcher. Hello, Miss Fletcher and Miss Valentine. Good. I got you both at the same time. I apologize. Only one phone is necessary.
I guess we can use mine because Valentine's is in her head?
I mean, I'm kind of answering along with you, but sure.
Indeed, I'm aware. We do have a new assignment, possibly, and I also wanted to speak with you, Miss Fletcher, about something. Why don't you, Miss Valentine, and your brother come on down and in the meeting room? We have a lot to discuss with the others.
Ruben is not my brother. And I haven't seen
Well.
him.
Interesting. And how many days has it been since you've seen him?
Just a couple of days. He's probably out
Uh-huh.
partying.
Huh. Well, I haven't seen him either, so we'll try and see if we can find him. All right. Anyway, yeah, meet us down at the meeting room as soon as you can, ASAP.
Okay, we'll be there.
Of course. See you there. And he just hangs up.
What the hell now? If he hasn't seen him, maybe he was lying.
That is a full possibility, but also, I guess it's head down there. I guess we got really no options or leads.
I think Caden could arrive now.
Well, knock on the door.
I'll also say that as Caden comes and you tell him and talk with him a bit, he'll get a text from Mr. X.
What does the text say?
It's the same thing I just said. You know, meet up at the Section 9 and meeting time.
Okay, so I'll
Right.
go open the door then. Officer Valentine is here.
Hey,
Hi. Nice to see you again.
We have to go to Section 9, but Ruben hasn't been at home. And he didn't contact Valentine either.
Huh. Didn't he say he would?
Yes! That's what worries me.
why would he contact me though?
Because he doesn't trust us to do what he wanted to do.
I should have knocked the fucker out and cuffed him.
Oh, I did give you the cuffs.
Well, yeah, but hindsight 2020, I guess. Anyway, can I have a moment, please?
Who are you asking?
Kaden.
A moment?
Yeah, I need to tell you something.
Ah. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Christine, will you wait for us downstairs, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll be.
Do
I'll.
you have your car with you, or are we going? How are we going?
I got my car.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll meet you there in like 2 minutes.
All right. I kind of walk downstairs.
Sad face.
All around me are.
Well, Cassandra is
What?
going to give Kaden a hug and a kiss.
He's going to hug her back and kiss. What is this about? What happened?
Well, we're going to Section 9, and I think it's best if they don't pick up on, our vibes. So let's keep it very, very, very professional when we're there.
Fair.
Okay, Mr. Ellison?
Yes, Miss Fletcher. Also, I took into consideration what you told me the other day. I told Cassius to make a background check on all the employees at the mansion, and we also hired a psychologist and a psychiatrist to make personality profiles of them too.
Ah,
Just
you
in
went the
case.
full way.
Well, can never be too careful.
Yeah, it is a relief at least. Okay, so I'll take my bike, you take your car, I'll see you there. And Cassandra will open the door and kinda, let's go, kinda, gesture.
Yeah, he's going to take his car too.
Same.
I can drive you.
Yeah. No. Wait, that's not. Yeah. No. I'll just drive myself. I shouldn't leave a cop car just laying around, anyways.
Fine, suit yourself. Well, let's just meet up there then.
Phew. Okay.
Indeed. You all proceed onward through the very heavy rain. This is actually probably some of the heaviest rain they've seen in quite a few years here, making it kind of difficult to drive, but you're able to get there on time. Not a whole lot of traffic in the weather tonight. It's about 8 o'clock at night. And everyone arrives on their own time in their own way to the Section 9 meeting room. And because we have a very large group here, I will go from left to right, have people introduce themselves, what their character looks like, and then I'll start a little bit of a social scene where you guys can just chit-chat. Remember, give everyone a chance to spotlight. Try not to hog it from someone. And then when the scene starts, I'll just go from individual order for each person to answer. So, the Section 9 meeting room is a very white and metallic looking kind of place with a big projector on the screen, digital, no wires, big meeting room table, a couple anesthetists. The robots will get you guys any sort of drinks or food that you want. And some of you recognize each other. Some of you see a lot of familiar faces. Some of you see some unfamiliar faces. So starting left from right, Atlas, why don't you tell us what people see with your character and what he's kind of doing there?
I literally wrote, "Don't start with me."
All right,
Okay.
we'll start from right to left then. Christine
Thank you.
Valentine, tell people what you see.
You see walking in, pretty much casual clothes, a robot lady. You know, with a big gun. Not a
Very
lot
similar
there.
to the photo we now see up.
Yes.
Mr. Lucas?
Me? Right. Caden is dressed in a business suit. What people would expect from a businessman. It's not dressed too much different, and you can see how he looks like there.
Coral!
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Probably that the ginger guy probably knows your face. 'Cause you're a
Indeed,
public figure.
that is true. Caden is a public figure, and I do need to ask, Caden, are you wearing your suit or your suit?
No, a business suit.
Yeah, you're just wearing your business suit. Splat, Carl, Abel.
Yep. Abel is, as usual, a Section 9, so he'll probably have followed whoever came to Section 9 first into the room. He's a towering guy, standing well over 7 feet tall. And here in Section 9, where it's safe for him, he prefers to go shirtless, displaying the fact that his body is covered in strange red runes and markings of seemingly no discernible origin. Despite that, he seems to be rather quiet and subdued. Especially now, he seems to be wearing some collar around his neck. Quite weird.
Axel.
Not me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see Damien walk in and what he usually wears, a black leather jacket, black jeans, and black t-shirt underneath. You'd never suspect he's a doctor. And he looks to be around 40 years old. That's it. He just sits down quietly.
Miss Briggs.
Well, you see a athletic, I would say, woman walk in with a shotgun strapped to her back. Seems to have a drum magazine on it, or a drum clip. She seems to have a bit of a military stride to her as she just goes over to an empty table and sits down.
Alrighty, Mr. Flash. You're probably the oldest person in the room.
Perhaps, yes. So Sprence walks in. She's wearing a mix of sort of flannel and there's patches sort of sewn out of furs and various things that she's probably shot over the years. She's an unattractive old lady. Perhaps in the blossom of her youth, she was a little bit better looking. She has a bag that you can see a partially broken down rifle sticking out of. She introduces herself. She just says, "Hi, I'm Sprints. I might be joining you later." And just kind of waves and then just stares at one spot at the table and kind of ever so slowly and imperceptibly starts rocking back and forth.
Hi.
Very,
Hey, Rune.
very nice to meet you.
Hey, Rune.
Oh yay, it's the Show. Hayron strolls in. He's wearing what seems to be sort of a cross between a leather jacket and a bomber jacket. He looks like he's probably maybe in his 50s, maybe in his late 40s, but at the same time he has almost a youthful energy about him, making it harder to place his age. The only thing that really, I guess, gives it away are a few wrinkles here and there in his graying hair. Otherwise, he looks very fit, slightly tan, despite being so far, us being kind of north of the area, but he has this sort of je ne sais quoi energy about him that seems to draw the eyes of everybody in the room as he walks in, looks over everybody, flashing them a smile, then goes over to sit down next to Abel.
Could just pick a bomber jacket or a flint. No, you had to go with the abomination of both.
Yes.
And out of curiosity,
Monster.
does Mr. Payrun have awe up?
No, he does not. This is just his
Okay.
natural charisma. But, however, I will say, if anyone decides to look closely, when he sort of tilts his head, you can see almost skin-tight, scale-like armor underneath peeking out from underneath his shirt. And he has a strange-looking, rather large pistol at his hip in a holster.
Indeed. Miss Fletcher.
Yeah, so, Fletcher looks like this. Is wearing a leather jacket, normal shirt, jeans, sneakers, ponytail, pretty simple, comfortable, everyday casual wear pretty much, that she can move around easily. And she will take a look around the room and we'll go and sit down close to Valentine.
And last but not least, Atlas. What do they see with your character?
Can I ask a question first? Would
Go
I
ahead.
know him or would he know me?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, you would have seen each other before, maybe even worked with each other before. It's up to you guys when you start role playing how much
Yeah.
you know about each other or not.
okay.
All right.
Atlas, go ahead.
My voice is a little bit fucked right now, but we're we're working through it. You see a redhead come, like typical ginger coming in, tall, lanky dude, wearing it pretty much what you see on the photo, a pair of jeans to that, some biker boots. He's got a camera hanging around his, like a proper professional camera hanging around his neck. And he's just kind of as soon as he walks in, casts a glance around the room and like puts himself up against the wall and just kind of starts fiddling with the camera. Not really saying much, but definitely notices everybody. He does have visible neck tattoos. And for those who know him, his name is Morgan Michaels.
And with
Okay, I'll
everyone being
definitely, I'll definitely do a double take when he comes in. I'm like, what the hell?
So I take it that his character knows Caden, but Caden has probably no idea of who he is. Right?
Well, he doesn't know you like personally. He knows who you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, that would be somewhat
I
of a
know
correct
of
assumption
you,
there.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
is.
he knows of you. Yeah. And actually, a lot of you, anyone who has any sort of kind of like any news knowledge whatsoever would know a bit about Caden. So, at least in terms of him, it's at this point that you guys are kind of all just looking around, introducing yourselves to new people and whatnot. And it's at this point that Mr. X finally comes in the room. Very typical Men in Black looking kind of guy, very much like Agent Smith, so to speak. And he comes in and walks up to the front. And he's like, "Hello, good evening to all of you. I'm glad you could all make it. How have you all been?"
Okay.
Great.
Can't complain.
Just gives a small shrug.
Doing just fine.
Abel just gives like a very awkward thumbs up.
He nods to Abel. "Miss Briggs, did you get your training under control there? I hear good things about it so far."
Well, it went as well as can be expected with as little time as I had, but boot camp's boot camp.
Indeed. Although I can definitely tell, due to the readings we've been looking at, you're doing quite a bit of improvement.
Oh, that's good.
And he looks over to your character Flash, and he's like, "Well, your first little hunt job assignment may be coming up. We already showed you the video and showed you around the area, and you've been doing some small favors for us. How are you liking working with Section 9 so far?"
Well, I couldn't be happier that you decided to take me under your wing, so to speak, sir. I will do my best to not let you down, and yes, I appreciate the opportunity and everything you've done for me and doubtless everyone else here.
Oh, of course. It's the least I can do. And of course, we all have there is the newest member of Section 9 who's been doing a little bit more research for us. He looks over to you, Atlas, gives kind of a nod.
He nods back.
But, go ahead.
Oh, that was it. It was just a voice
He
trying to
nods. No, that's okay. He nods and gives you a wave, and he says, "Well, there's unfortunately a couple problems happening here in San Francisco, and one of them I will probably need those of you with some special skills to go check out. As some of you well know, we discovered a abandoned military bunker built back in the year 2050 that was being used during the war that happened, the incursion, so to speak. The bunker has been inactive for quite some time. However, it's only just now resurfaced that there was some activity down there. We can't seem to scan very deep due to the bunker's defenses, so we will need to send in a strike team and probably a cover team to recover it. Those of you who wish to go upon your own accord may also join as well."
What can we expect?
We're not entirely sure. Most of the records that we found about the bunker are either omitted, deleted, or, well, let's put it this way, too easy, so to speak.
So are we expecting close quarters if we go in there?
Some of our local computer experts have determined that this might actually be the Power Corps, the local group terrorist organization that is fairly well equipped. I'm guessing probably small to medium fire, if they are armed, and maybe some possible explosives, but that's about what we're guessing.
Okay.
Any supernaturals?
Not that we know of, but always expect that they may be down there, especially with a situation happening recently.
How much time will we have to prepare?
Oh, about an hour, 2 hours.
I want to use aura reading on Mr. X. I want to compare his aura to the other ones I've seen so far.
Okay, roll me, what is it, Wits Empathy?
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead and roll it.
If I remember
Ah.
correctly, though, we haven't seen an aura like this, at least.
No, I'm comparing it. It's like a small research.
Caden,
So I got
you
three
see his
successes.
yeah,
I
you see his
can ask a
aura.
few questions too.
Well, is this aspects or just aura reading?
Oh, it is aura reading, but it can. Apparently, I can ask one question too. I need to check here, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you have a question.
Now remember, I got to be somewhat vague when I answer these, whether you're using aspects or aura reading.
Simply gives a yes.
I just need to check because I can ask anything. I just can ask what's in here.
You can't ask what's in the canister.
Where is it?
What's in the canister?
It's
You can't
on,
ask.
It will be on
It's-
page 56. It says, your character, during the same scene, due to your character's understanding, blah blah blah, to activate, blah blah blah.
Can he ask a question? Yes or no?
Yes, you can
Okay.
ask questions like, "What's the character's most prominent emotion? Is the character telling the truth? What is the character's attention most focused on right now? Is your character going to? Is this character going to attack? What's
the page?
56
Of
of
which
the core
I
book?
book?
didn't find that one.
So yes or
of
no answers?
yes or no answers on page 56 of the Chronicles of Darkness book.
Thank you.
What about the 100 vigil thing?
I would not use that for this sort of stuff because the page that doesn't have page numbers yet. But I can look it up on there real quick. Give me 5 seconds.
Unfortunately, dear listeners, it was more than 5 seconds.
Yes, it is.
And as for what's in the as for what's in the canister, it's
What?
best you don't ask.
What canister?
There's a canister that's actually been sitting, not in the break room, but in the waiting room that you guys will do before you go into the break room a lot. There's just a canister sitting there, and so far no one has investigated it, but there's nothing dangerous about it. It's just a canister sitting there.
We weren't aware of the canister.
Yeah, I was.
Even
Indeed.
being there.
Okay, for every
Indeed.
success, I can ask one of these questions. So I would be able to ask 3 questions?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Ask away.
Oh, firstly, out of these questions, does his aura look anything like Cassandra's brother? Aura?
No.
Huh.
One down.
What is his attention most focused on right now?
His attention is most focused on getting ready. You can guess.
What
a
emotion
readiness.
is he trying to hide?
What emotion is he most trying to hide?
Yeah.
Excitement.
Is this character supernatural or not human?
You don't know.
Well, I don't know in character, right? But would I see anything different about him?
You see the aura kind of shift and sparkle a bit, but you're not really catching anything. Nothing that stands out. You don't really know how to really identify things, and it's just kind of it's bright and vibrant like a good normal young person would have. It's sparkly, kind of twinkles a bit, and that's about it.
Okay. So I guess that's it.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Kind of looks around and he says, well, we'll have a couple hours to prepare, but we really want to get down there ASAP, considering as how there may be some structural damage down there, and we don't want the thing coming down on you guys when you're down in there. So the sooner we get all this done and cleared out, the better. One of our employers, so to speak, wants us to get a little bit of that information out of there. Plus, we would like to get it out of there as well, just to, last thing we need is old military technology falling into terrorist hands.
Oh, we have employers.
Yes, we have a couple employers, actually. We are an independent intelligence agency, after all, but there are some buyers in the government that we can trust that do help pay our bills.
Abel kind of looks up for a bit. Should I start heading there? I don't have much to do. I could try to scout out.
Believe me, Abel, the last thing we want to do is send anyone down there by themselves. We don't know what's going on. Never send one person into a situation unknown. Always send teammates.
So, if this is a raid mission, why are we here?
Because I have a few things to talk about with you. I figured you probably wouldn't want to go down there, but I have another assignment for you.
Well, I can do scouting, but not combat.
Like I said, I don't intend to try and put you or force you into a situation like that. But there is something I will need you to do. Probably not for this, but I'll talk with you about that later.
Alright.
Alright, so we have basic schematics. The place is on a time limit before it collapses.
Not an extreme time limit.
Like
Just,
months, years.
like,
Yeah.
we're talking in a couple months this place might go.
Alright. Still, it means it has structural damage. So
Yes.
fire explosives and firearms might not be the best option down there.
Indeed, but they're kind of the only option we have at the moment. So,
Honestly,
and-
never the only option.
Shifty eyes from Abel.
Why not just bring the whole place down on top of whoever's down there?
Because
Retrieval, my good man.
several
There's
reasons,
loot.
yes. Several reasons. One is retrieval. Two is we do have a little bit of a squeeze on us at that point, where if we destroy it, that could be considered destruction of government property, which is a felony.
Is it robbery of government property also a felony?
Well, yes, but not when it's the government employing you to go get their property.
And do we have an exact list of what stuff they're asking us to retrieve?
Yes, and he brings up the projection screen, and there's some notes and stuff. From what you guys can best declude, this was an abandoned bunker designed to test biological weapons.
Ooh.
And it was it's been abandoned for a while, and a lot of the notes that it looks like you guys need to retrieve are just some notes on how to cure said biological weapons.
Are there any
And he
biolog-
says he basically holds up a little device and he says you can implant them on this. Not only that, we can download them wirelessly to any data pads or hollows you have, and as long as you get out of there and we get at least one, we've got it.
are there
If you
any-
turned on a fan, turn it off. Or just mute yourself.
Who are you talking to?
That was
Whoever
Atlas.
just
So yeah, he tells you that, and he says you can download it and keep it going.
Question. Are there any biological agents already released or leaked down there that we should know about?
No, we were able to do a small biological scan, and there is no biological agents that have leaked down there.
Okay.
As far as we can tell, because you already said that we can't penetrate too far into the
Right. Going down into the deeper levels, we don't know, but we know the upper levels where a lot of the data entry points are, there is no chemical release.
So in other words, Be prepared for biological agents.
Try not to catch
Possibly.
super anthrax.
So to
Just
speak.
wear a gas mask.
But wouldn't
Yeah,
this
we all
mean
have to
that
back
whoever's
up.
down? Wouldn't this mean that whoever's down there is already, well, dead? Either that or they're prepared for us.
Dead or exposed. I don't know if they're prepared for us per se, but whoever's
Well-
down there has clearly found some way to at least alleviate if there is a biological weapon down there.
Yeah.
Should we be taking prisoners?
He kind of thinks for a moment on that one, and he says, "If you see fit, Power Corps, due to the fact that they're a terrorist organization, you know, they've already got bounties on a lot of their higher up members to shoot on sight. So, I mean, it's up to you."
So old
We
school
believe
take
Power
the
Core's down
beers.
there.
Yes, he said that earlier. If you didn't hear it,
Alright.
yeah, we believe that Power Corps are the ones that are trying to break in and steal the government biological weapons.
Let's see. Just to be on the safe side, do you have any access to any sort of sealed sealant for my armor or any other armor you have on site?
We have A7's hazmat suits that can go over most armor. However, if you take any sort of damage whatsoever, they're going to be punctured. They're great. They're great for stopping. They're great for stopping biological chemicals and everything, but not very durable, sadly. But they are sealable, and they can fit over almost any armor.
I'll take one. Fuck it, why not?
Nods.
Hey, bot, wouldn't I be immune?
Well, you're immune. You don't have to worry.
Yee. Take that, flesh bags.
No big yellow suit for you.
Yellow is such an ugly color, babe.
So,
Actually,
Out
the suits
of
come in.
character.
The suits come in white, yellow, and red.
All
out of
terrible
character.
color.
Oh, great.
I have
collection.
the armor I currently have is called Dragon Scale armor, or Dragon
Yes, I know.
Skin.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Does the-
Basically, go ahead.
Through my contacts, can I get any sort of item, like a helmet or something, with a rebreather that attaches to the armor?
Oh, they can get you that.
All right.
Like, yeah, the masks. Like, for those of you who've seen the movie Avatar, like those gas masks, they can get you those kind of things. Yeah, that's not too hard to get.
Yeah, we'll probably take one of those.
Yeah, you guys all get one-time hazmat use suits and one-time hazmat gas masks.
All right. I was thinking more like a armored helmet that has a rebreather in it. That hooks. That's basically part of the armor system I currently have.
You might need to put that on order, but you could very well get that. You're not going to be able to get that
Alright.
tonight, but you could very well
Okay.
get that ordered.
All right.
Well, I'll go ahead. He shows you the schematics of what they do have, so you guys will have a 3D map of at least what they've managed to map out and some more information. And he says, "All right, whoever wants to actually go on that, sign on the digital pad. And Miss Fletcher, I'll talk with you in my office after everyone's done. You guys can go ahead and talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get the second strike team briefed and ready, and we'll make sure your backup's good, and we'll get ready to go here in a couple hours. Miss Briggs, I'll see you at 0900.
Alrighty.
He then leaves the room. He looks at Miss Fletcher and gives a little nod. Just leaves.
Should I go see what he wants, or I'll wait for him?
He said you can come and see him in your office when you're ready.
Okay. I'm gonna look worried towards Valentine and Kaden, and I'm like giving a shrug, like, what do
I'm
you
gonna
do?
shrug back. Break a leg?
Well, let's
That
hope.
would not be beneficial to your health.
No.
Yeah, I think I should go, but what are you guys going to do? Are you going to this bunker?
I'll
Yeah,
help
I'm
you.
going down.
Me too. I'm going.
I feel
Government-
prefer I could go with you instead of going to the bunker.
We'll see what he wants then, and we can discuss it after. Well, here goes.
For what little use I might be, I should probably be with the first team, the initial strike force.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll go find Mr. X.
All right. We will go ahead and do the Mr. X office scene, and then we'll bounce back to you guys getting ready, and then you guys proceeding down into the bunker. So first things first. Miss Fletcher, you stroll on into his office, a rather standard-looking office, bookshelf on the right, another little shelf on the right with left with knickknacks, standard office desk with a floating light.
Yeah.
And he looks up. He says, Miss Fletcher, go ahead, close the door.
She'll close the door.
So, what's this I hear? Your brother going missing here? This is not good. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry I keep calling him your brother. It's just that you two remind me of a couple people I used to know, so I apologize. Your friend.
Well, I don't know if missing is the correct word. Unhinged, maybe? Well, it's not maybe his typical behavior, but occasionally he does crazy things. What can I say? Boy likes to party.
Is he alright? Did something happen to him?
I don't know. What could have happened to him?
I don't know. He seemed a bit, he seemed a little bit off when he asked me for some information last we spoke, so I was a little bit curious.
And when was that?
A couple days ago,
Well,
he was asking, he was, and I quote, asking me about mages.
Well, I know that he's trying to find out about this spirit that's inside him or whatever you told him. I don't know. But I guess you saw him more recently than I did because I haven't seen him in the last couple of days.
Right, and where did he find out about all this information about mages?
How would I know that?
I don't know, maybe he told you.
Well, he's not telling me everything.
He squints his eyes at you and he's like, "Are you lying to me, Miss Fletcher?" He tilts his head very slowly, almost like an owl or a snake, tilting its head. at something.
Oh, God. Okay.
I
Ooh.
think you actually are lying, aren't you? Because Flynn told you and Kate. Well, Caden was with him, but he told you where he got the book.
Well, perhaps he did tell me. However, I really don't see how this is relevant to you.
That was out of character, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, because you are technically lying because Flynn told you about.
Oh, yeah,
the
I
book.
know I'm lying.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
yeah.
lying.
So I go ahead and roll me your deception roll.
Well, that's awkward now, ain't it?
Let's see. This will be empathy.
Do you want to make that a critical failure?
Get that beat. Get that.
Miss Fletcher, would you like to make that a critical failure for a beat?
Please, it's gonna be so fun.
Yes.
Okay, so he doesn't even have to roll. Let's see. That's hold on a sec. That's
Fumbling on
a
your own words there.
that's a read plus mind plus empathy. All right. So plus focus.
Jesus!
I don't think he
Alright.
needs to roll to see that I'm lying.
He really doesn't. He really doesn't. Not with a critical failure. So he looks
You
at
don't
you.
lie to a mind mage.
Well, I don't know what he is, so.
He looks at you. He staples his fingers. And he says, Miss Fletcher.
Alright, so, okay, let me understand something. Whatever he told me or whatever he found out, how is that of any interest of you, or how is it any of your business, really?
The light in the room starts to fade.
Oh no.
And if you didn't know any better, you would say that his eyes take on just a very, very subtle light. Almost like a cat or dog in the dark when you shine a light on them. But it's just very, very subtle. And he looks at you and he says, because, Miss Fletcher, our job at Section 9 is to take care of the supernatural that threaten this world. We work in the darkness to preserve the light. That's how we work. Now, I know that Mr. Flynn is not a, shall we say, normal person. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. If Mr. Flynn is what I think he is, then learning this new possibilities with him could be extremely dangerous for him and others, which is why I've been trying to contact him to make sure that he can control his power and not explode with it. If he F's this up, he could blow up, well, he could damage himself and others.
How is that any different from anyone else? We all have the potential for great
He just sits and
destruction.
laughs. He says, "Oh, my Miss Fletcher, Miss Fletcher. No, 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 no. You see, you do have the potential to do some damage. Your friends have the potential to do some damage. Me and Mr. Flynn, on the other hand, have a potential to do a lot of damage if something doesn't work out."
So what exactly did Ruben tell you?
Ruben asked me about Magi, the will workers, those who manipulate reality to their will. Mages, wizards, Harry Potter, if you want me to crash it down into a small
Yeah,
crash course.
yeah, I get it. And?
Well, Flynn was going around on asking a lot of questions that he probably shouldn't be when he could have come to me. But I'm under the impression that Mr. Flynn does not trust me. Now, I respect that, but that is foolish. I'm one of the only people you can trust in this city right now.
With all due respect, sir, trust is something that is earned.
And how best should I earn your trust, Miss Fletcher?
I don't know, perhaps with a token of goodwill.
Such as?
Maybe respect the fact that there is some information that should be kept for me alone.
Such as?
I'm talking about the things that I do not wish to tell you.
He nods. Seems to take that in.
I
He
don't know
seems to
what
be in
Flynn
agreement.
told you or what he's planning to do. I think he's being foolish. And honestly, I'm done mothering him around. Apparently he thinks I'm trying to control his life, although he doesn't realize that his behavior is what has been controlling my life for the past couple of years, and I'm done with that.
I understand, Miss Fletcher. Out of curiosity, did Flynn go to a place in Chinatown recently?
I believe he did, yes.
You catch a very subtle hint of like he kind of goes wide-eyed, but it's only for like a split second. He's like, yes, I see. Well then.
Give me a second. I want to think something. Oh God. Uh, okay, I'm going to. I'm going to Auspex.
You know, you ask a lot from a guy when you don't even know what you want.
What? What are
You
you
make-
talking about?
You're like, oh, well, I want you to do this, but you don't even know what you want.
What?
So
I
make
have no
go
idea
go
what
ahead
you're
and make your roll.
Okay, I got 5 successes.
Right. So you need to ask certain questions, and some of them will be
Yes.
kind of off.
Yes.
That you might see or hear some weird shit. So go.
Okay. So, is this person being controlled by someone else?
You see a aura that surrounds his body. You do not see any influences coming from the outside, at least not from what you can see. You see ping prints of light here and there in his aura. Well, not his aura, since you're not reading the aura, but you see his, you just kind of see him flow, and there does not appear to be distortions or ripples. It's like a river that simply just flows.
Very poetic.
Okay. Next question. What is he afraid of?
In other words, what does the victim seem to be fearing?
What is this person afraid of right now?
You see flashes of explosions, like not big ones, just small ones. You see fire, and you see buildings like falling. Like, for example, you know how when they condemn buildings and they'll sometimes do timed explosives in certain areas to bring it down? You see a couple shots like that, little flashes of things like that.
Okay. What is one of this person's psychological vulnerabilities?
That is a great question. So I'm thinking about how I'll word this one. Impersonation. There is some minor fears or weaknesses that you see that are related to what maybe a specific person or people think of him. Presentation, failing, like the presentation of failing presentation. Like it's weird. It's hard to pin down. You can't tell if he's afraid of failing or if he's afraid of just making a certain person or people upset. It's difficult. It's one of those two. You can't quite pin it down, but you're thinking it might be fear of failing or letting a person down. You're not entirely sure. It's really off. It's bouncing between those two possibilities.
Okay, what is his current mood?
Current mood, that's actually a simple question. You see blank with a small hint of agitation.
Ooh. Okay, now I have to think up of the fucking fifth question, because the others don't apply. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Do I get the feeling that he's a supernatural creature?
That is not a question. That is not a question you can ask.
Yes, it is.
Kind of already answered you before.
Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I did actually answer that question. You're not entirely sure. I can say what you feel though. When you look at him, you feel a warmth kind of flow at you. When you look at him, you feel like you've looked at other people before, and you can see like typically when you view a person's weakness, you view joints or maybe an injury or something that someone has had. With him, it's just kind of a warmth that kind of just flows into you, and you can't pinpoint it down.
Does it make me uncomfortable?
Uh, Kinda, yeah, like an itch on the back of the neck, maybe, or like a little tingle going up your spine, but that's about it.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, when he came to speak with you, you don't know where he went after?
Negative. I know the first stop he did was back at his at the home, but that was it.
Well, I was under the impression that everything is being surveyed around the city.
That's true. Which is why I'm a little bit concerned, because he is quite the hacker. He could probably stay hidden if he wanted to.
That might be true, but I assume that an organization as big as yours probably has their own hackers?
We do. It's difficult. It is a large city, after all.
Well, I'll see what I can do. But I
Indeed.
can't promise that I can find him. All I can
But
do is
I,
try.
Indeed, but I should actually probably call you in here as to the original reason why I wanted to speak with you.
Indeed, yes.
You're quite the detective. And I have reason to believe that the chief of police of San Francisco may be having dealings with some unsavory characters. I wanted you to see if you could get into the cold case section of the SFPD's files, or at least perhaps try to investigate into the chief of police himself.
I could do both.
Okay. Well, that's all, Miss Fletcher. I was going to have you and your brother start on it as right away, but if he is not available or unavailable at the moment, obviously, then go about your business as you would.
I could borrow maybe some of the other members of my team.
After this bunker case, yes, you could. I understand that some of your members of the team have already signed up to go down. And this is, believe me, the chief of police is an important investigation. However, that can wait for the moment. This bunker cannot, unfortunately. Kind of was thrown on my desk at last minute.
Let me discuss it with them, see what's up, and I guess we'll get to it. If you have a file for me to review, I can take it now.
He pulls up a little digital pad and he sends it to your digital pad and he says, "Sent."
Alright, I'll keep in touch. Thank you.
Good luck, Miss Fletcher.
Thanks.
Oh, yes, that's right. I need to go get the other team ready. You'll excuse me.
Yes, I'll get out of the office and go towards her team pretty much.
All right. I need to get up and use the restroom, so we'll have a little social scene here where you guys can talk amongst yourselves in the break room, and I'll be right back.
Officer Valentine, Mr. Ellison? Moment.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're given a case that we are supposed to investigate the chief of the police, and it requires that we gain access to the cold cases. And she will wink.
Ah. That's that's interesting.
I can probably pull some strings.
However, this can wait if you have you signed up for this bunker thing?
I mean, I did.
I was waiting to see what you would decide.
Well, if the
To
rest
see
of
what
the
I
team
open
is
to do.
going, I guess we could go too and do some scouting at least.
I'm sorry, were you guys having this conversation in the room with the rest of us?
We're pretty much at like a small circle, and we're trying to be quiet, but yeah.
We
They're
do-
huddled off in the corner.
Yeah. Because if you guys are doing like a suspicious side huddle, I'm definitely trying to listen.
It's not suspicious. It's just here we're talking about what we're doing. Nothing suspicious about that.
I'm in a room with a bunch of strangers, and suddenly three of them start to huddle up in the fucking corner. That's suspicious as fuck. I'm sorry.
It's a tad bit suspicious.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Anyway, I guess let's
I'm
sign
always
up.
in.
By the way, that new guy that came in, I know this guy.
Do you know?
Yeah, perhaps I should go speak to him. Yeah, he's a reporter. And I'll go and walk towards Mr. What's his name? Morgan Michaels, you said?
Yeah.
Hey, Michaels. Fancy seeing you here.
That's right back at you, miss.
I mean, you can see the name, goddammit.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Backwards for me, so I can't
Oh, yeah,
really.
Fletcher. Jesus.
Use the roll 20.
Yeah. Anyway, back in character. I mean, I'm a PI. I'm freelancing and I'm being solicited by many people. I don't see how a photographer would be, you know. What are you doing here?
Paparazzi.
I was trying to be polite, Mr. Voltrick. Thank you.
Voltrick just walks by and says as he's going into the armory.
If we want to start dragging out all my jobs, I also drive an Uber. I don't know if that's more into what you think should be a part of this group or not, but
Do you have any idea what we're doing here?
I'm just here to document shit, darling.
Oh god. Hey, we don't have to worry about you taking pictures of us, do we?
Probably. I'm not gonna tell them as long as I'm on this job, though, so.
Yeah, well, I think we should catch up after we're done with this, but are you going to this bunker thing?
It seems like the kind of thing I should be getting myself involved in, don't you think?
Well, if it's as dangerous as they expect it to be, I don't know if this would be the best place for either one of us, really.
Well, let's just say I'm good at getting myself out of trouble.
Let's hope it goes well then.
Of course.
Anyway, let me introduce you to my team.
Please do.
Come
there's
on.
something
Come over
Thank
here.
He'll
Uh,
follow.
This is Officer Christine Valentine, and this is Mr. Caden Ellison, and over there is Dr. Black.
How we doing?
This is Morgan Michaels. He's a photographer.
Yes, I'm a photographer.
Oh, really? What kinds of albums do you have?
That might not be a very good question to ask right now, Mr. Ellison.
Why not? I thought every artist liked to speak about their
Well,
art.
he's not actually an artist, he's more of a reporter, let's
Excuse you?
say.
I may have a degree in journalism, that doesn't mean I don't take photos of other things.
Yeah, I know, but yes, I was trying to avoid this particular conversation right now, so let's keep to the subject, shall we? Yeah.
And that is...
About this bunker thing that we're going to.
Supposedly has
Interesting,
super
huh?
anthrax.
Supposedly it has what?
Supposedly has super anthrax. I don't know. They said toxic shit, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't see that being much of an issue for you. Excuse me saying.
No, yeah. I have some biofilter. I have a lot of filters already. So yeah, no, I've saved so much money on Germex.
There's probably terrorists.
Fragile people. It's good that they have the suits for us.
Well, let's hope that the suit they have for us are good enough to stay hidden. Because I really don't.
Oh yeah,
like
nothing
being-
screams
yeah.
stealth like bright red or sneaky bright yellow.
Yeah. That.
The I'm so ugly you don't want to look at me colors.
Maybe we should also go to the armory and see what kind of equipment we can get. Right?
That is probably a good idea. But perhaps we should sign under first. Just so they don't think we're stealing shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, where's the data pad?
Indeed, and for those of you who are interested in the armory stuff, we posted in the rules section, I believe, Creed, the rules for resource buying and stuff for basically buying stuff. The rules are up there, so you guys can go into the armory, and whatever you have resources dots for, you guys can access and buy.
Is this the advanced technology thing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right now it's only 5 ammunition, but I'll be getting more and more stuff done as time goes on.
Indeed. There are some technical things as well. For example, most items that are one-time uses, like night vision goggles or a spectrum goggles or something, don't really cost a whole lot. But for stuff that's like more permanent, like equipping your weapon with new slots or upgrading it or maybe upgrading your armor, that will actually cost resource dots for your month because your resources dots only refill at the end of each month. So whenever you use a resource dot or a certain amount of dots to do stuff, those dots go away until the end of next month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not the one in the rules, because I don't see
This-
the ammo there. This is just the how it works, right?
Yeah, the actual ammunition consumables is in the
Links.
Why not just make
sorry.
a
Yeah, it's
It's
in
in
links.
links.
Yeah.
Yeah, links. Yeah, we made the link for it. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and pin that too when I get a chance.
Yeah. Pin it, bitch. Pin it.
why not just make an armory chat?
that late.
Actually, I do have. That is a good idea. I'm gonna
It
make
is a good idea, but
I'm gonna make a shopping / armory panel. There we go.
Okay, so I'm interested in the non-lethal ones.
And what did we decide, Creed? For just getting one clip, I don't think it costed any dots, did it? Or was that
Be right
just
back.
one dot?
One clip of it, you get 10 shots of it, and it still costs 1 resource.
So 1 resource dot for a full thing of those.
So which ones should I get?
That is up to you.
The shocker. The shocker ones are the non-lethal ones.
So the shockers do non-lethal, but the ones you want actually are going to be the I have to call this up.
Not to mention,
there's
you can always
the ones that do bruising damage.
Right, and then you could always fill up the gel rounds with some kind of knockout liquid or something, or DMSO.
But the shocker ones apply stand though, add stand effect.
Right, they're really good ones to have.
But they're also really expensive.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking this. It's the fucking start of the month.
Alright.
Can't I use last month's resources?
Honestly, I would, like I said, I would just use the ones that can do bruising.
Which one are
Because-
those? The gel rounds.
Yeah,
You
the
didn't-
gel rounds.
You
Because
didn't put anything in the shopping.
Indeed, and we'll just have this as the prep phrase. I'm getting stuff ready for the bunker scene, so you guys can prep up here. What are the Dragon Breath availability, Creed? I forgot. Isn't it like, what, 3?
sorry. Yeah, 3 for Dragon Breath.
3. Dragon Breaths are 3, Jackby.
Okay,
Alrighty.
I'll just get the gel rounds then.
But here's the thing, Dragon Breaths are good.
Yes, and I have an auto shotgun. That's the problem. Fucking rapid fire those things.
So,
Question.
There's just no soul if it doesn't have pump.
Indeed, Axel, what's up?
Are the Dragon Breaths rounds
want
any
some?
different than the fire rounds?
The incendiary rounds are the really light ones. If you read the ones in the book, the incendiary rounds are more for like rifles and pistols. The Dragon Breath are the shotgun rounds.
Yeah, Dragon Breath is the shotgun shell. And
Can
we
they be
do
used-
have a clip of incendiary from the last one, right?
You guys had one clip of incendiary, and I can't remember who was using it. I think Axel was using it, actually. I think Axel has a clip of incendiary rounds that he got.
we
Yeah.
both had.
Oh, that's right. You bought one. Did you buy one? Yeah, you bought
Yeah,
one.
I got
Okay.
one,
Yeah.
and I used I think 4 rounds, so there should be another 4.
So, yeah, incendiary, you have 4 shots left with that, and then you can buy some more rounds. Axel, I believe you have 8 shots left.
Okay. Which ones does the assault rifle use?
Assault rifle can use the incendiary rounds. Assault rifle, the rounds you see, with exception of the ones that say shotgun rounds only, all of those rounds can be applied to assault rifles, sniper rifles, and pistols.
Question: the gel rounds come with a clip of 10, right?
Yes.
How much would it be to get another clip?
Another clip of incendiary?
Mm-hmm.
Look up the incendiary in the thing. I believe it was... What did we have it at? 3, Creed? 2 or 3?
Incendiary, I believe incendiaries
It's 2.
are 2.
Availability 2.
Yeah.
2.
Explosive rounds is 3.
So
Yeah.
if you want incendiary, Axel, that'll be what? 2 dots?
Okay.
And armor piercing incendiary are 3.
What'd you say about explosive rounds?
Explosive
3.
is 3.
Okay.
But you have to check what they do, because they can be, yeah,
Collateral damage.
yes.
I think
They
I'll
do
just stick with
+2
incinerator rounds.
lethal to
Okay.
target and 1 lethal to anyone in melee range.
Right, so
the
Axel now
target.
has 18 incendiary rounds.
I am. So don't forget, with consumables, you guys can pick up. If you say you get a resource to consumable, you can always spend extra to make it like say you have resource 2, for every resource dot you overpay doubles the amount of rounds you get.
Yep. So if for example, say you wanted incendiary rounds and they costed 2, and you spent 3, you'd have 20. So you'd have 28 rounds of incendiary. If you spent 4 dots, you'd have 48 rounds of incendiary.
I think I'm good. I'm not a shooter
And then-
type.
And then
I
of
am
course,
a
and then
shooter type.
yeah,
but
and then of
not-
course, if you spent 5 dots on them, you'd have 80 some odd rounds of incendiaries.
Yeah, but that's just for scrubs that spray their rounds like they're nothing. We're sharpshooters here.
Speaking of which, I am going to pick up 10. I am going to pick up 10 flechette rounds.
Flechette, okay.
Yep.
And is that for the shotgun or for standard?
Standard.
All right.
I'm gonna pick up. How many shells do I get for my points if I bought Dragon's Breath?
Well, what are your resource stats at right now?
3.
Right. So if you spent 2 resource dots, you would get 10 Dragon Breath rounds. If you
No,
spent
he
3,
would-
He was 3.
Their availability is 3, so he would only get
3.
3.
So he would get 10. He would get 10. Right. Yeah, 10 rounds, but he has to spend all of his resource dots, and then they recharge at the end of next month.
Doing it.
All right. Spending 3 resource dots, and you now have 10 Dragon Breath rounds for that fucking thing.
Beast. Yep.
All right. I will give you guys another 10 minutes to kind of look through stuff, unless you're all ready, and I'll get some bunker stuff going here.
Should like night vision.
Say what?
Night vision shit.
I can't hear you. What?
Night vision.
Oh, night vision.
I have
If you want
goggles.
if you want a one-time use night vision goggle set, I'll go ahead and give it to you, Atlas. If you want to spend one and use it like multiple times, like Sam Fisher goggles, you can get one of those for 2 resource dots.
Those are this is equipment that you require at the creation, though, right?
Well, some of you did.
Yeah.
It depends on whether you want a one-time use one or whether you want it to be used frequently as a special piece of equipment.
I mean, I don't have the resources for it apparently, so.
So if you just want a one-time source one, they'll give you like these little glasses, and when you activate them, they activate night vision for a scene, and then once that scene is over, they're deaded, and you either got to recharge them or buy ones that are actually like them. Whereas if you bought Sam Fisher goggles, you could use them for a scene and then immediately use them for another scene, and then use them for another scene, and then not have to
Alright.
worry about.
Didn't the HUD contact lenses let us see in the dark? They did for that one scene.
Yeah, those were per scene though.
Okay.
Don't I have night vision, thermal, and electrical?
You got the upgrade. You bought that, so you have the upgrade.
I do have
So,
night vision goggles in
yes.
my kit. Of
Yes.
Question.
Go ahead, Axel.
Do I have to buy the contact lenses again, or?
Those are just the one-time use ones. Those ones you can use. Let me look it up here.
Doesn't he
Okay.
have those from the start though, as his equipment?
I don't. I wasn't aware that that was his standard equipment. If he bought it with the actual dots, then yeah, he can use them as many
I
times
did.
as he wants.
I
Okay.
did. I bought them.
If you bought them with actual dots, then yeah, you've got the contact lenses that can be used multiple times. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was bought with equipment points. That was my bad.
It's cool.
So yeah, I'm just getting the one-time use ones.
Okay. Let me go grab my dinner plate, and I'll be right back up. It sounds like everyone has what they need.
Yep.
I mean, I'm carrying
I'm
around
going to
majority
get
of
the
equipment I'll
one-time
ever need.
night vision goggles as well.
Hey, how many
Gotcha.
rounds is low capacity?
What do you mean,
Low.
capacity?
Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
low capacity will be 6 rounds.
All right, so that means the extended clip would add 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, 6 is fine.
The only thing I need to recharge my weapons is my thirst for justice.
Fucking weeb.
Fucking glorious.
So did you put your suit on?
Well, probably.
Oh god.
And you have just won the cringe award. Question on the medical kit. Since I used it last time, do I need to like replenish it or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think that that's how equipment works. If you have the equipment, you have it and you can use it.
Okay.
So, quick question. I have a fair number of dots in medicine. It would be assumed probably that I just have a medical kit for anything that I would use that for, correct? That's not something that I need to spend resources on, or should I
No,
ask the
it's
GM?
not it's not assumed, but it's good to have one. Usually at character creation, you go to the equipment, and depending on how many dots you have, you can add what equipment.
How
you
many
Right.
dots and resources you have?
Yeah, and some
Okay.
yeah, because some people added a little bit in the beginning, but right now what we're doing is I've got 2 sections of items. One are temporary, and they just kind of like last for a scene or whatever, and they're just kind of duds. But then
Okay.
there's permanent items that you can actually buy with resources. Like there's a couple people that bought some equipment slots tonight, and of course people are buying ammo, which is used in a similar method.
And I'm assuming that just standard ammo is essentially for my character basically unlimited. Is that correct?
Standard ammo, I'm not going to really charge you guys for.
I picked up.
Could I buy with my single dot of resources some sort of reusable medical supply?
Yeah,
how
I've actually got that here. Hold on.
Okay. I'm looking at the sheet. I don't see it. If you want to tell me where it is, I'll...
So Flash,
Yes.
I got something for you if you want to spend a dot of resources.
I would love to. Is it medically?
It's basic. Yeah, it's a first aid kit equipment. This will give you +2 to all first aid medical rolly rolls. It's basically an equipment first aid kit, but it does come with a standard basic issue. Did you see the movie? Did you see the movie Dread?
No.
Damn it! No one has seen any good
Judge
movies
Dredd?
here.
Why
No,
do
the
you
Judge
always
Dredd, the new
have
Dredd.
reference movies?
The new Dread.
I did see
yeah.
Judge Dredd.
A proper.
No, the new Dread. He's got this little thing that like he puts it across like a cut or tear, and it cauterizes the wound, and then you can stitch it up a lot easier. So he's got one
I
of
know
those.
what-
The med foam.
I know what you're talking about. It's like a healing gel.
It's like a little burn gel. Yeah, it's got some of that in there.
Yeah, I've seen that
Okay.
movie.
I will spend my resource dot for the month on that.
You got it.
Can I take one? Hey, can I take one of my spare vials of super serum down with me?
For those of you who have Fixer, yeah.
All right, cool.
One other question. Were we supposed to have an exact number for the ammunition for regular ammo? Because
In all
I'd li-
honesty, if it's just regular ammo, I'm not going to really rack you guys on it. The only thing you need to be concerned with is, for those of you, when you shoot a gun, your gun has a certain amount of ammo. So when you shoot and you run out of ammo, you got to reload.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm making
Okay.
sure you guys keep track of. If it's just regular
Okay.
ammo, no need to really keep track of like how much you have total, just what's in your gun. If it's special ammo, yeah, keep track of it, how much you have.
okay, cool.
I know that my gun takes 8. 7 plus 1, rather.
Yep, 7 in the clip, 1 in the chamber. And poor Abel over there, just looking at his sword, all sad.
He'll be fine.
He's just been fiddling with the mouse, trying to figure it out.
Buy ammo for it.
Buy ammo for the sword. It's a sword
Don't-
that turns into
hey,
a gun.
Hey, don't worry.
No.
After I finish the slugs, the next thing that's going on the list are combat
Oil?
drugs.
I was supposed to just like go full Witcher on it and just douse the fucking
Yeah,
sword.
with
And, like,
I
oils
was
and
gonna
stuff.
say oils.
Well, to be
Combat drugs.
fair, Carl's.
Neo on us.
To be fair, Abel is not that far from there.
What? Not
all right.
the-
No, dousing the sword and stuff.
oh yeah.
Caden is going to disappear for a moment and come back wearing his suit.
Sure thing. And
Who
Caden,
brought the ninja?
Well, Caden, we spent 1 resource done on that suit, and for the upgrades that follow with that suit, I'll say that if you want to spend XP on that, since that's a special item. Now that, if anyone here wants to talk with me about special items, you can, and those will actually cost XP dots. But like I said, we'll talk about those later. But for Caden, we've got your suit at 1. So if you wish to actually spend XP in the future on upgrading the suit, let me know, and I'll give you the upgrades when we do that. So,
Okay.
because you
But
bought the suit.
apparently it's not badass enough.
Well, the thing is, he bought the suit, and then he upgraded it, and I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and upgrade the suit to 1, and then you can start spending XP on it, in addition to the upgrades you've already put on it.
It's a smart suit, it levels up with you.
All right. If he spends XP in it. All right, so are we all ready to delve down into the deep, dark places of San Francisco's underground?
El
Just-
Bunker.
One last question. On the active camouflage, does that just add like 2 dice to my pool when it's activated?
Most equipment is levels 1 through 5. I've got that marked down. Is that a one-time use or multiple use for you?
I bought it at character creation with the equipment dops, so it's multiple.
Right, that's the multiple use one you bought. All right, so
Mhm.
that would be equipment plus 2.
Okay. But I can
What is
upgrade
that?
it later.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
That is a unique item, so you'd have to upgrade it with XP, but that'd be giving you a decent bonus.
Okay. Well, I'll hold off for now.
It would actually give you up to plus 5, and then if you upgraded it past, that would also start giving you 9 and 8s again on stealth. So,
Okay.
all right. So I think we are all ready to proceed down.
We are.
Yep, Abel's got his flak vest.
I'm ready.
Jacket, rather. Black jacket.
Unless there's something
Alrighty.
to temporarily increase the armor, I'm ready.
Nope, you're good.
Alright.
Okay, so out of curiosity, before I start, I'm just going to list through who is going down. Peyrun,
I Captain.
Flash,
That's correct. Yes.
Jacqueline,
Yep.
Axel,
Yes, that is correct.
Abel,
Indeed.
Caden,
I think so.
You think so? I mean, it's
Yeah.
yes or no. Do you want to go down or what? If
Well-
anyone has to leave during the scene, I can always take over their character. I promise nothing. I won't. I do promise that when I take over a character, I'm not going to just immediately get you killed.
Immediately. It'll be at
Though
least-
it can happen if the dice rolls are right.
Those would have to be some pretty shitty dice rolls.
It can happen. I've had it happen before.
Either way, so we've got about 7 or 8 people going down.
Aren't we all going down?
If you want to go, that's fine. Like I said, I'm not forcing anyone to go. Whoever wants to go
We're
can go down
going
there.
We're all going to the bunker.
All
Oh.
right. So
you
let's do
want
this.
to be A full assault raid, which is
No,
what
I'm
it's gonna be.
support. I'm like support and scout thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do scouts.
All right.
Oh, real
So,
quick, can I get some one-time right armor?
I
you
thought
made out of
I honestly thought he actually already had ride armor.
I was just being tough.
No,
I'd
you had.
prefer-
Well, you did have a vest. You did have a vest.
She
Yeah.
wants to be the ultra tank.
The ultra tank.
No, you spent your dots on the ammo. Sorry.
Oh, but it was one time.
Yeah, no.
Okay. One day I'll be a god.
I mean, can I get some better armor?
How many dots do you have?
2.
You get a hat.
He could get a. You could get a vest.
He has a
Vest.
flak jacket.
Yeah, like I said, you can get the flak, but I think you already have a flak you bought. So
Yes.
okay. So you got a flak jacket. You got that. So everyone gets ready
This is-
to head down.
Nighttime, right?
Yes,
Always.
it's about. Yep, it's about 9 o'clock right now.
Just had to make sure for one of my powers.
You proceed on down in the disguised garbage truck. You all proceed and get your gear and other things ready as the rain continues to intensify. It's almost become so loud and static that it's just becoming a part of the ambient noise. And then eventually you get to this old, what looks like a school, or once was a school in one of the older kind of abandoned parts of San Francisco. And the garbage truck touches down and you all get out. The second crew, unbeknownst, seems to be a bit more uniform than a lot of you, all wearing the same uniforms and gear. Miss Briggs, you recognize at least one of those people. She kind of gives you a nod as the other group kind of moves into position.
I nod back.
And the other group takes up cover, and you guys go about the standard business of searching the school. It's somewhat reminiscent for those of you who read anything about the old schools. A lot of schools went out of business when education moved itself into virtual reality. But it's a little homey feel. Destroyed windows, desks, crumbling ceilings, and walls. Eventually, you all manage to get down and find the entrance to the boiler room. Lock is picked, and you and the two teams uniform down into the dark descent. Until eventually, you all find a very large vault door.
How does it open?
So any of you fuckers good with lockpicking?
Nope.
Maybe.
We could
So
try.
the vault door has an electronic lock and a standard lock. What were you going to say, Abel?
No, nothing.
I could try.
Okay.
So let's try the lockpicky thingy.
Okay, and I will roll for your hacker on the side.
What hacker?
Got two teams with you. Remember, you guys have the backup squad that's with you too. They have a hacker
I
with them.
can help with hacking too. Ooh, I think I got the lock.
Good roll.
I could roll a computer too if you want. I have
Roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll me one, just to support.
Yeah. Boink. 2 success. Oh, and I also forgot to add the lockpicks, so it could have been even better.
Roll 2 dice, because that's equipment plus 2.
Oof.
Reroll.
So yeah, that would be 6 successes on the larceny and 2 on the computer.
So what that is with teamwork, I believe he gets then the hacker gets two extra dice on his
Right.
Yes.
hacking roll.
Yep, and I'll roll for the hacker in just a sec here. The hacker will roll another 2 dice. Still good enough. Fletcher, the security lock on the door is hard. However, you have quite a bit of skill at lockpicking, and you are able to get the mechanical lock open. After a while of you and the other one looking at the computer, trying to look at all of the older algorithms, it's not too difficult. They are old algorithms after all. You eventually get the door open, and the vault opens into a long hallway. For those of you who have played Half-Life, or seen the movie Alien, or seen Fallout 4 or 3, the hallways and structure of the vault look very much like that.
Fuck me.
There are no lights and no emergency going. There is a small little hum of ventilation and pipes that seem to be carrying gas or whatever in and out of the bunker, which should not be on, but they are. But there are no active lights going.
I use thermal.
Roll me a wits composure, please, and you're using your thermal that you bought.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
gave you standard. So that's actually I gave you slightly better than standards when you bought it with the equipment. So that would be +2.
Okay.
So wits plus composure +2.
And I'll activate aura reading.
Also roll me a wits plus composure, just standard, Jacqueline.
I'll pull down my night vision goggles.
I will pull it.
Yeah, I'll do that
Night
too.
vision as well.
Yay!
Alrighty. Actually, everyone in the party, go ahead and make me a wits plus composure.
Shit.
You
Do
said
we
it.
get any extras? Any fucking
What do you have on right now, Cassandra?
what am I rolling against? What am I actually
Well, this is
rolling?
this is perception.
This is perception.
So if you're just using right,
I
wits
have
plus composure.
night vision goggles.
Right, and you're using your standard ones, so that'd be a plus.
That's a +2.
+2.
Right. Yes.
Does the heads-up display contacts add anything?
Oh, I only have 1 success.
It will when you guys start navigating. And Sprints McCoy, you have another 2 dice to roll since you got 2 10s.
I have 8 against on it, right? Creed.
Huh?
Got
I
eight
believe
against.
so.
Yeah.
You have trained
still
observer
trying-
up
If
to
you have
3,
trained
right?
observer, then
Yeah.
yes, you have.
I do.
I also have a biosense. Please assume that I have that on whenever
Mhm.
possible.
Alright.
How do I
April
make-
rolled like a monster.
Jeez, I'll say.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, they hit 8 against for some reason.
Alrighty, so
Yeah, but you have a
You all-
9. Oh, it probably rolled the 9.
as a as you all grow in as a team, the other group kind of splits off and holds your position and covers your flank, and they stay back at the door as you guys proceed on down in. As a good team, the can whoever's got the microphone or TV on in the background mute, please? There we go. You proceed on down into the tunnels, and the metal walkways and the bars. You go down, and occasionally you hear this dripping sound of water echoing throughout the chambers. You continue on down as you see the lights and the night vision and the thermal, and all of you proceed rather impressively as a well-oiled unit. Who am I echoing off of? This is why everyone should probably mute. Alright, so you continue on down. It starts to seem like there's a little bit of light that shows from old, what look like burned out flares on the walkways. And as you start to navigate, some of you start to slowly uncover some of the 3D map that people have been looking at. And a lot of the directions or the signs on the side of the walls are kind of rubbed out or eroded away. But you guys are finding that this facility is very large. And you guys continue to navigate through some of the dark tunnels, and some of you just can't shake the sense that this is just creepy. You start checking rooms, clearing. Some of the very first rooms you enter just appear to be living quarters. Places where someone would sleep. You search them around. There's nothing in here except for some old, musty rugs or whatever. Old beds that don't even work that much anymore.
Okay, Mommy.
You continue to look around, and the next set of rooms you find are what appear to be prepping rooms, and then eventually you find a kitchen. This is still just the first level, so you assume this is probably the living quarter kitchen area. You see some rusted old knives kind of glint in the darkness. There is some old pots and pans that don't seem to be being used anymore. There's a broken table, what appears to be a dining room table in the kitchen. After you look a little bit more around in the kitchen, you can see that there was something spilled when everyone left in a hurry, it seems, on the floor. If anyone wishes to roll me a analysis check, you can roll me either int survival or a wits composure to just perceive it and see what it is.
What in survival?
Intelligence.
Do the goggles apply to that one?
No.
2.
You said with plus composure?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 6.
Do I get any bonuses from my equipment on this perception roll?
Not on this perception roll. Not on this one. Okay, since you guys are all as a team and everyone's rolling as one, I'm just adding up hits to a certain number of successes.
I did get a
Morgan.
6. I don't know
Yeah,
if you-
Morgan, very nice. That's very nice.
This is what I do.
Yeah, you basically won that for your team right there.
Hey.
Where?
All right,
is that
so
is that the 6 successes on top? Holy fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
All right, Miss Fletcher, you believe yourself to be very stealthy. You guys investigate the puddle and pools that you guys see in the kitchen. And it appears to be a mixture of very, very old, now fermenting and obviously rotted away, some kind of bean curd. And it is mixed with what looks to be remnants of very dried and old, decayed blood. For those of you who take the blood and analyze it, the person who gets brought up is someone that no one here recognizes. And they don't appear to be appearing anywhere on file. There's also a bit of animal blood mixed in with the bean curd as well. It appears to be that of some kind of canine, although you guys aren't able to analyze it directly right here.
Those dragon rounds.
All right. You eventually proceed until you all find an elevator. And you can see that the elevator is powered, which should not be possible. This seems to be the only way down, with exception of a stairwell that's somewhat cramped, but you guys think you could work your way down it to the lower levels if you didn't want to use the elevator.
Let's not go in with noise that the elevator will surely make.
I don't trust an elevator in a place that's gonna be falling out down around our ears. That's just not a good idea. It's just gonna be rusted at hell if we're lucky.
Put your mic closer to your mouth.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, but there's all those stairs. And don't think we're not going to be making noise when we move down those stairs.
No, but there's a
Sprence
difference.
doesn't say anything. She just points at the stairs and kind of nods.
Well, looks like I'm outvoted.
Why don't we split it? Some of us can go quietly up top, and if things go down, rest of you can take the elevator.
So half get stuck in the elevator and the other half get mauled to death.
So half of us get mauled, the rest of us get crushed.
I'm going to, while they're talking, check the elevator. Since
Okay.
Is it at the top level open or?
It's where you guys are. Like the elevator is on your floor right
All right.
now.
All
But
right.
you assume that this is the top floor, and it looks like
Yeah.
this is a model CV-19 elevator, which always goes back up to its original floor.
All right. Looking inside of it, first I spying like set up cameras inside.
You look up at the side corner of the elevator, and it looks like there should have been a camera there, but it looks like it's been ripped off or destroyed.
Does the damage look recent?
Roll me a intelligence computer.
God. Oh God. Mike, does anyone have a computer here?
Yep.
Well,
I
you
do.
probably should. One of you should do this.
What exactly do you need done?
Hold up.
He wants to discern if the damage done to the camera looks recent.
Okay. So that's computer intelligence, right?
Add 1 dice because I'm helping.
Okay.
Add one more dice because I'm helping.
Okay.
I'm directing.
Well, your dice sucks.
Either way, one was all you needed. It takes time, Cassandra. At first, you're not entirely sure, but you can determine that this looks like it was destroyed kind of a while ago, because some of the wires have been kind of corroded off, and if it was done recently, that there would be a sign that of some tampering or damage sign. But this is all corroded and dusty, so you're guessing probably a while ago. How long ago, you don't know.
Speaking of which, that gives me an idea. Before she goes and mucks everything up, can I roll wits intelligence check, wits investigation to determine if this elevator was used recently?
Ah, yes.
There's dust on the ground.
I believe
I mean,
there are better investigators.
Yeah,
than you
she's
are.
I mean, she's looking at the camera right now, but if you want to look at the pad, sure.
3 successes.
You look at the pad, and well, whoever was using this elevator was using gloves, but you can determine that due to the dust smudges, like how normally when something settles with dust and someone disturbs
Yep.
it, you can see that some of the buttons were pressed. There are 10 floors. Someone went down to floor level 8.
I'll point this out. Say, looks like our destination is floor 8.
Let's start.
I'm
walking
not
then.
so sure about that.
Oh,
Why are we going exactly where there are people? We should be investigating where they are not at. No?
We should be going through this methodically from top to bottom.
You
head
guys wanna
stairs.
Indeed, Group 1, commencing sweep now. First floor checked, cleared. Second team entering. You guys hear this on the radio comms. Second team entering. Cleared rooms are marked with a white X. Proceeding to clear the first floor as Team 1 heads down to floor 2.
Well, I guess that's it.
Very well. Is Team 1 taking the elevator to floor 2 or the stairs?
Stairs.
Sorry about that.
Already started down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Copy
Can
that.
anybody hear me? I got kicked out of the call.
Yep, you're back.
No,
Yep.
you're
Okay,
good,
sorry
you're
about that. Okay, sorry.
Just a question: how tight are the stairs? Are there like separations between the
It's,
flights, or is it like
like
super
if-
tight?
it's almost like a car lot. Like when you're in a car garage and you're walking up those like big, thick, blocky concrete stairs. It's one of those.
I see. So there's no way to like jump over them and hop further down, basically.
I mean, you could because they go down in a spiral, but that's
That's
risky.
a long drop.
I mean, if we're going the quiet way, jumping down
Indeed.
would be the best idea, honestly.
I mean, yeah, if you succeeded, it'd be great. But if you failed by any accidental means, by any
I'm
means, that
actually
would
more,
kind of blow your
at least
cover.
able is more interesting when it comes to going up them rather than down them.
but
Indeed.
but we're going down though.
Yes,
He's
I know.
asking for future
Escape
reference.
route.
Yeah, he wants to keep it in his head. Which, yeah, if you were to really get up these fast, they are going in a spiral in a condensed area. You theoretically could kind of climb up them a little bit faster if you were to go up the center. If you could actually pop it off, but yeah,
Good to know.
if you want to monkey it, you could get up those stairs faster with that than running up them.
Yeah, good to know. All right, Abel's
Alright.
not particularly stealthy, so he'll be hanging back at first.
By the way, Miss Briggs, did you get my message?
Yes, I have not read it.
I'll be sending some of you guys messages over Discord, so just check it out occasionally.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna activate my psychic shield.
Easy enough.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
By the way, I rolled for a stealth before I got 2 successes.
Good enough. You and Jacqueline are stealthing.
Is there
I'm sorry,
music
not
playing?
Jacqueline. Sandra.
Only
Yeah.
I'm
There's no
stealthy as fuck.
there's just the ambience playing, no music.
Because I can't hear that.
That's okay.
God, no
Whatever.
Ambience.
Yeah, it's mostly just like beats of some kind, like
I know
Stuff
it's supposed
banging
to be
around in
like
pipes.
abandoned bunker ambience.
Okay. Okay.
You guys can turn it up a bit if you want. And Axel, go ahead and mute yourself when you're not talking, just so I don't hear that TV in the background. Yeah. Okay. You proceed on down the stairwell. Lights going down to the next level. This floor looks to be similar to the upstairs, except more of a living and almost kind of a lobby area where someone would check into a hospital or something. There are some written paperworks, but they've been mostly destroyed and no one really finds anything. You clear this floor pretty quickly. It's mostly a kind of meeting staging area. Nothing really here. You go down to the 3rd floor and the 4th. And those rooms or those floors are the same. And then the 5th. 5th is where you start to find some electronics. Go ahead and anyone who's good with computers, roll me intelligence computers to work with them.
Okay. Does anyone want to pitch in?
Unfortunately, our main computer
can-
guy is missing.
I'm a little good with computers.
Okay, so well, you can give me dice.
Alright, I'll assist.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Okay, so I can get.
So
You can give me extra die instead of rolling it yourself.
Oh, sorry about that.
So I'll take 3 extras and
Okay.
hope for the best. What the fuck, man? That's so bad.
Hey, still got successes. Shush.
Just for future reference, that's not how teamwork works.
Okay, want to do it the other way then?
I mean,
I'll-
either or. You get more dice. You get the dice. We all roll our roll, and the amount of successes we get are basically dice you get to add on. So if someone gets like 5 successes, you get 5
we
extra
should be
dice.
doing that then.
Yeah,
from now
that's a
on.
greater
Yeah.
that is a greater potential for rolls.
Yeah.
So Damien, you rolled it. There was nothing.
Okay.
Hayrun rolled it. Gives you 1 dice.
Okay.
Who else is helping her?
Caden.
Caden, roll. Okay. So Cassandra, roll that again, except you get 2 extra dice.
Do I need computer dice to assist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
You need to
I
have
cannot
skill
help.
in order to assist.
Okay. So.
I mean, I've got special. I've
Okay,
got a
we'll get
specialty
3.
in observation equipment, but I don't know if that's useful.
It will be.
Yeah, I have surveillance equipment too.
You're able to get into these first computers. Most of these computers are records of people that worked here, files on employees such as security, medical staff. It looks like this was a whole facility designed to not only house people and provide medical, but to also provide whatever sort of maybe testing they were doing down here. Although you don't find any files directly saying that anyone was tested on, you can just assume it. Mostly this is just information files you find on people who worked here, and that's about it. And then you get down to floor 6 and floor 7. When you get down to floor 7, things start to change. The walkways become more metallic. The bunker still looks the same, similar to a Fallout bunker, but it is slowly starting to show signs of disturbance. There are dust and footprints here, combat boot prints. For those of you who wish to analyze it, I won't have you guys roll anything, but you analyze that there were indeed people here on level 7 recently. This is starting to look more like a creepy facility. You guys find liquids spilled here or there. For those of you who look at them, they range from water to alcohol to blood to what appear to be acid.
Does it look like there was an altercation of some sort?
Yes, it looks like there was an altercation. However, it does not look recent. It looks like there was an altercation done years ago.
And how about
In certain
spilled
areas.
liquids?
Spilled liquids were done years ago.
Okay.
What does the damage look like?
You see bullet holes, a couple casing shells that you find, Jacqueline. There appears to be some scuffs. One thing you know, if someone is shot next to a wall or injured next to a wall, sometimes blood and splatter can hit the wall certain ways. You guys all determine that that looks like what happened here in a few places. You can see some residual damage by some sort of maybe explosive or incendiary, because you can find some scorch marks on the walls.
Okay.
I think you would have told me if this is going to be useful, but I have an absolute ton of marksman and firearms. Is there anything else I could discern about exactly the types of weapons being used?
Yeah, it looks like this was heavy fire from assault rifles. Some sort of possibly incendiary grenade, you're guessing. And it also looks like there was a high caliber weapon used, although, Flash, even with your experience, you're not entirely sure what it could be. You're guessing maybe a 50 cal?
All right. I relay that information to everybody available.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And Jacqueline, putting your military knowledge together with hers, you can determine that, yeah, there was definitely a high caliber weapon being used in here. You can see some larger punch holes that kind of outmatch a lot of the other bullet holes in a couple places.
So more like 50 cal.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was compensating.
Or someone wanted a job.
Says the woman with the 50 cal.
Well,
you eventually
she doesn't have one, so yeah. Penis
you eventually get to an open room, and this is where things get a little creepy. You start to see vats of liquid and test tubes and chambers and science equipment, Tesla coils, you name it.
I'm snapping photos.
Just let me finish describing the whole place before you guys check it out. You see some containers have body parts such as arms and limbs dangling in the tubes. There are test tubes. You see some of the test tubes have been frozen over and can't quite be seen. There are wires hanging down that show that they were connecting to some. There are operating tables over to the far right, which look as if though they have been used and not cleaned very well in the over years. There is some other scrapes and scuffles. One of the test tubes on the immediate left is broken. And then there are some big computers off to the left that you guys could probably tap into. And I will have this be a observation and roleplay time. If you wish to observe more about the room, I'll tell more about the room as you guys move in. And of course, what you decide to investigate will determine what I go for. But right now, I've described the room, and I'll let you guys take it away for a moment.
I want to do an investigation for sure inside the room.
I might be able to tell a lot about the medical aspects of what happened here. I have about as many dots as humanly possible.
You guys have
intelligence
2 doctors
5
with you, so.
and medicine 5.
Yep,
My
you guys have
investigation
2
is relatively
doctors.
weak.
Okay, I can take care of the investigation part. You can do the medical part.
All right. Would anyone like to assist with the roll on that? Does anyone have any medicine? Or
Dr. Black
Axel,
can assist you with
Jackie
that.
can.
And with investigation, I know Ken
Alright.
can. And does Valentine have investigation?
Right. So, Yep, so first things first here. Let's go ahead and take care of the rolls since there will be certain sanctioned skill rolls. Let's do the medicine one first. So, would Jacqueline and Black, since you're assisting Flash, make me intelligence medicine checks? The number of successes adds to Flash's dice pool, and then she'll roll the final dice pool.
Got 3.
That's 3 hits from Jackie. Mr. Black.
Axel?
He might be away from his microphone.
He's muted.
So 1. Yep,
So he's
that's
probably
1.
forgot he's muted.
Alright, so
+4.
Flash,
yes.
you'll be rolling an additional 4 dice to your pool.
All right. That's 14 dice.
Yep. Re-roll those 10s.
So 7
1,
successes.
2. Indeed. Very good roll.
Thank you.
She has very decent medical knowledge, Miss McCoy, but in combining her medical knowledge with Jacqueline's and Mr. Black's, you three are easily able to determine what was going on here, and easily able to determine a lot of the processes that were being used here. Even though some of it seems a bit not only illegal, but
Unethical?
unorthodox in terms of medical procedures. You three can determine that there was indeed some kind of biological things being tested here, such as injecting drugs into certain creatures, which explains the different kinds of body parts and animal parts in some of the jars. It seems that there was a couple things tested to try and reanimate dead flesh. There was a very old procedure that people tried that and it failed. However, you guys can determine that this seems very similar to what was done on that. There was a test that you guys found on algae. There's actually a little area over in the back that you guys find that they were using algae to try and regrow dead limbs somehow, by injecting the algae with certain chemicals to try and get them to produce the components needed to regrow limbs.
So they're plant bodies, essentially.
Yes, some of the arms in the vats are indeed human, but they appear somewhat organic.
Well,
Humans
is
are organic, yeah.
Well, what I mean by that is
plant
humans.
organic.
Yeah, one of the biggest differences between humans and plants is plants have cell walls in their cells, and it looks as if though some of the cellular biology of these arms is the membrane was being changed from a membrane to a wall.
So more resilient.
Yes. You also find that some of the spills, Flash, Mr. Black, Jacqueline, and Flash, you guys all find that some of the spills you see is a mixture of hydrochloric acid with bromine and an unknown chemical that none of you are able to quite discern. However, it looks kind of like a mixture of carbon and mercury. So there is. Oh, let me go ahead and read that for anyone who's writing it down. The unknown mixture is a mixture of carbon and mercury, and it also consists of hydrochloric acid and bromine.
One sec.
Science.
I've got medicine. I'm a little weak on science.
I guess you could say you were blinded by science.
Very, very much so. Thank you.
Blinded me with science.
Medicine is
Weird science.
I swear, if you guys keep it up, I'm going to have you fight Dr. Nye, the science guy, and he'll kick your ass. And he'll kick your ass.
And he'll teach us about weed too.
Are you saying love has blinded you?
Anyway,
That's
All right, so the medical roll is over. Now let's go on to the investigation and perception checks. First things first, let's go to the perception ones. So, Cassandra, you were going to do an investigation?
yes.
Okay, is there anyone that wishes to aid Miss Fletcher?
Sure.
I can do that. What
Okay.
roll is it?
Go ahead and make your rolls, and then we'll add her successes to her roll.
What are we
Intelligence.
how many
and
dice do you have?
It depends on what we add. I have
In total, I have
specialties.
11.
Yeah, I have. I have 11 too.
So it doesn't
Plus 2
really. I mean,
from my crime scene kit. Plus 2 from Luminol if I want to use it. Depends. Depends on what we're doing.
does the
Alright.
crime scene specialty add a dice here?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Caden, make your roll, and yeah, you can add that, and then you can give her your successes to her roll. That's 2.
Okay, so
This is just for the investigation people. Mr. Black, you're already doing the medical stuff. This is for the other people.
do I add the crime scene kit?
For what you're wanting to do, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you add 5 dice to your pool, Miss Fletcher, plus any equipment you're using.
Okay, so plus 7. And also my what you call it area of expertise. Man, this is gonna wow.
Hopefully, this will be good.
I mean, it better be. It's 9 extra dice, honestly, with everything on.
Or should just fail all the rolls.
Well, I only need 3 successes to get exceptional because I have the
5
investigative
hits.
aid. Yeah, so I get
5 hits,
exceptional
so it's a
success
grand, yeah.
anyway. But also I get a bonus element to any clues uncovered.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that down. You basically got everything. So,
Yeah.
Cassandra, Caden, Morgan, and Peyru. You guys are all investigating. You find that there was some kind of little firefight in here as well. Some of the vats leaked and were hit with some sort of gunfire. You also find that as you came about and were looking around, you do find that the computer has been powered and looked into recently. Actually, the day it was looked into was a couple days ago. You find that there is some paperwork that is there, more records on what was being done. I'll go ahead and tell you what the paperwork entitles for those of you who want to get a pen and paper ready.
I have the notebook. I'm already typing.
All right. So the paperwork shows that they were doing testing, indeed trying to regrow limbs, and they were apparently succeeding. They had a 25% regrowth chance in enhancement. They made a little bit of a breakthrough. However, there is reports in one of the pieces of paperwork that one of the test subjects escaped, and they are currently looking for it. The date that it was written was the year 2054.
20, 40 what?
2054.
54.
And the
So,
year is 2077 right now.
I have an interesting question. Is there any type like any computers or anything in here?
I told you, yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'm going to try turning them on if they can turn on and see if there's any like video.
They do
files.
turn on. And I'll add this to the investigation roll since you guys are already doing that.
Yeah.
You all of you guys take a look at the computer. You do see some camera footage. And you see scientists, classic and light white lab coats walking around, injecting certain people with things, cutting off body parts against people's will, and then cauterizing them. You see them grabbing a bunch of security guards, grabbing people and bolting them down to the operation tables. It's a little bit barbaric. There's even a couple video feeds that you find of people getting operated on while still alive. Like literally no sedative, no nothing. They're getting cut open as they're screaming. There is some footage of them testing something on a dog, and the dog starts to kind of spasm, and you're not entirely sure what happened. And then there's also a little bit of video feed. It's called Test Subject 7. And you just see a little jar with some sort of octopus in it. It's like a little like a little fish tank or whatever with an octopus in it, and then it says injecting serum. And then the octopus literally before your eyes starts to grow a little bit, and it shatters the fish tank that it was in, and then kind of flops to the floor and kind of looks useless. There's another video footage of a man being strapped down. It says Test Subject 8, and It says injecting. And then you see the man's skin go from a white to almost kind of a faint gray, and then kind of a blackish. And then the video feed cuts. And then there are 2 files that say video feed destroyed.
Can we tell if the videos that were destroyed were intentionally destroyed or was it accidental?
With the investigation, you can determine that yes, they were intentionally destroyed. Video file 28, deleted yesterday. Video file 29, deleted yesterday.
Oh, that's interesting.
Could we try to recover them perhaps?
This will be another skill check roll. This will be int computers.
Okay. Let me see, what do I have in terms of equipment for computers?
I was just gonna say I was, I was
Do we
taping
roll a
the,
get to help?
I was taping.
I do not help.
on the feed with my camera.
Sure, got you, Abel.
Hey, I have a
roll.
question. After the
Question.
scene, are we going to be taking the break?
We can if you guys want to.
So it's just a straight computer roll to help?
Yep.
Yes.
Intelligence computer.
I'm good to power through without a break. It depends on how you guys feel.
I do have a few more things to describe with the investigation after you guys are done with the computer.
Come on,
So-
Valentine, we believe in you.
Cassandra,
Easy.
add 3 dice to your roll.
Okay. Oof, oof. Let's not.
I don't have
fuck it
computers.
up.
I can't help you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have technology. Smash, 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 smash.
2 hits?
Two hits.
You're not able to recover the files, but what else were you trying to do there?
Recover the files. The video.
Okay, well, you're not able to recover the video files. However, you can discern that they were used with high clearance, because this computer has a high clearance, like in terms of how they delete, and none of the records on the computer can be deleted unless there's high clearance. And you can determine that a lot of the records were deleted with high clearance. You do find a corrupted video file, though, with that roll.
Okay.
It's not one of the destroyed ones, however, it's a bit staticky and hard to see. But you can see footage of one of the tunnels that you guys came through. You see a security guard run through one of the tunnels, and he turns around behind him. It's kind of a side view. One tunnel going off to his left, one going off to behind him. And he turns around and he shoots at something with what appears to be an M16 rifle down the tunnel. And he shoots and he fires. Then he looks down, he kind of peeks around the corner. Then he sets his he kind of rests his, not sets it down, but lets it rest. And he gives kind of a sigh. And then you don't see what happens, but the camera feed kind of statics. And the next moment, his body is ripped in half. And there is blood everywhere.
Okay. I think I need to do a composure check.
Resolve composure, please.
I think I also need to do resolve composure.
I mean, you've
Officer
seen
Valentine.
Oh yeah, you do too.
No,
Oh,
hold on,
shit,
hold on,
yes.
hold on.
Ooh.
Cassandra, give me one with composure resolve.
Yeah.
Officer Valentine, give me composure resolve -3.
Oof.
Oof. I barely.
Do I have to roll too? Because I was
No.
helped with the computer
I
stuff.
don't know. Are you
Cassandra-
squeamish?
Cassandra and
By
Valentine.
one.
Cassandra and Valentine are the only ones that need to roll this due to backstory. So, Valentine and Miss Fletcher, you barely compose yourself at seeing a human ripped in half. You don't see what ripped him in half, but it's not a pretty sight. However, Valentine, as you are all investigating, and you go on over by the wall, and Cassandra finds this too. You guys all see on one of the doors that leads into one of the other containment rooms. It's a solid steel door. Looks like high quality, thick steel metal. And there are very long claw marks going down the front of the door. It looks like whatever clawed through this door cut through it like it was nothing.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Miss Valentine.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
You feel like something's watching you. Abel, hold on. Abel,
Yes.
you also feel like something is watching you. Only Valentine and Abel feel this.
I have that life sense thing active. Do I get anything off this?
There is something now pinging on your life force coming from all the way down that tunnel.
And I also have danger sense.
Nothing's coming after you right now, Jacqueline.
Okay.
I have my sniper rifle assembled and at the ready. Just assume that that's the case.
Yeah, Abel seems to raise his blade slightly, turning to look in the direction of the feeling.
As you guys continue to investigate, Cassandra, you do find something else that looks very interesting. You find 2 human-sized vats at the back of the room.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, as you guys are all investigating. One says Project Cain. The other says Project Abel.
Hey, Abel! We found your birthplace.
Yay, exposition!
We don't
Abel.
glad.
Abel,
Yes.
roll me a composure resolve roll at -5.
Ooh. This is gonna be.
That is gonna hurt.
This is gonna be a chance die.
Yeah, actually made it.
Oh,
Ooh. Abel,
he did it.
you know those moments where after a heavy workout, your heart can beat fast?
Yeah.
You feel one pulse of your heart slam into your chest, and it's painful, but it goes away after a few moments.
Abel just kind of grips his chest and then goes to his knee for a second. Then looks forward at the 2 vats, and he just takes off. Like, Abel has never actually run as fast as he can. Right now, he just blows past everyone and then ends up like right next to the vats.
You look inside the vats. They are not damaged. They are empty. It looks like... Well, actually, my mistake. The Abel vat is not damaged. However, the Cain vat looks as if though something came out of it.
Abel's gonna just stare at the labels for a moment. Like, stare at his own name. Reach out, try to touch it.
You touch it. It's smooth and cold. Brings back almost a little bit of a calming feeling. Nothing really comes out at you at the moment.
He turns to the Cain label, and this time he actually brings his sword to it.
Bring your sword to it. Touch it. It just clings. It's just a label after all.
He grits his teeth. Why? Why? Nothing. Nothing's coming to me.
Morgan's just gonna
May
climb
I?
up behind him and take a photo of the vats.
Mhm.
Or the test tubes or whatever it is.
I can
Sure
hear you,
thing.
I can hear you.
He's taking pictures of the test tubes.
I want to do something.
Go ahead.
I want to go to the. Well, I can imagine that the Abel one was where Abel was, and the cane is probably the escaped subject. So I want to put my hand on the broken one and do the spirit's touch. And also, I think if you allow it, I'm also gonna risk willpower.
Okay. Creed, would you remind me a little bit about Spirit's Touch?
First things first, you cannot use risk willpower on supernatural abilities.
Okay.
No
then I
worries.
don't
That's
use it.
no worries.
Second, spirit touch. Obviously, you already know the dice roll for,
Yeah.
but it's basically she'll get a flash of a scene.
Okay. Sweet.
Well, I get questions actually, depending on successes. I think. If I get exceptional success, I can. No, that's do. Okay, let me send it to you real quick, cause. Yeah.
Either way. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
Either way, you'll see the scene.
Okay. Unless I fail. Ooh, I didn't fail.
Nice.
I didn't fail.
Here we go. So you see your body kind of translucent and your consciousness fades into the memory. It's hazy and blurry, but you can see it. The room is a bit better lit in this memory. You see inside the test tube a man, looking a little bit like Abel, not quite. Enough to discern a difference. You can see tubes and other things linked into him. You can see a scientist, blonde-haired woman, and no, you do not recognize her, kind of looking him up and down and taking notes on a clipboard. Hey, John, are we ready for the next test? Yes, indeed. What do we have? Well, this one detailed Subject Kane. We're going to try the new serum on him. He has shown great results in the first two. Now we are trying serum 3. Well, okay. Do we have security on standby? Yes, we do. Okay, let's get everything ready. By the way, did you take care of the bug? What bug? The bug in the computer system. It was disabling the cameras. Oh, yeah, we got that. Were we, like, getting hacked or something? No, not at all. There was just a bug in the system. Okay. Probably just a glitch. Very well. Proceed. They start to move about and get ready for what appears to be a vat injection of some kind. Some kind of injection. There are tubes linking into the vat, and it looks like they're going to inject the fluid through there. The fluid starts to come down, and the subject inside starts to twitch a bit. You hear the other scientists start to talk. Readings seem normal, blood pressure normal, heart rate normal, brain functions all normal. Going through, injecting larger dose. Subject's heart rate is spiking. Brain waves normal, blood pressure starting to spike. All of a sudden, you see a beeping on the machine. Subject's going into critical rest. Apply defibrillation. Apply secondary drug. You see the subject now in the vat start to squirm and writhe. And then after the new liquid comes in, the subject kind of stabilizes. Subject is flatlining. Get him out of there. One of the doctors goes up to the vat, and it's drained, and now you can see the man kind of dangling from like these wires all coming out of his back. And the tube kind of starts to fog up because there's a lot of heat. You feel a massive amount of heat come from the vat, and it's all steamed. You can't even see inside the vat anymore. And one of the scientists goes up to the door, and he tries to unlock, and he's like, won't open. Well, use the freaking crowbar. Goes over, grabs a crowbar. He starts to pry one of the locks off. Your face is almost cut by the glass that explodes outward as a long black hand punches out of the glass and grabs the scientist by the face and just rips him inward, and the vision fades.
I guess I have to do another composure roll.
Please do.
Oh, fuck my life. Fuck my
Resolve
life.
composure.
And now you get questions.
Okay. Oh, so I get the questions. Oh, fuck. Shit. What do I ask? Okay, yeah. Strongest emotion associated with this object.
Anger. That I will answer straightforward because that's about as good as it gets. Anger.
Okay. Well, the other question is a bit redundant, like what the object was being used for at the point of strongest emotion. I mean, for
Yeah,
human experimentation.
Yeah, normally you
yeah.
don't get the vision. Actually, I was wrong about that. I'll admit. But
Either way,
visions
alright.
are funner.
Yeah, they are.
you pretty much got the gist of it with that. So I'll say
Yeah.
that was your questions.
Yeah. As for who last touched or owned this, the creature that came out of it, obviously.
That is correct.
So, yeah. At least I didn't fail my resolve roll. Huh?
Yeah, when the arm came out of the tube, you heard it grab the guy, and when it grabbed him, you just heard a crunch.
Would it be safe to assume, based on the information that I have, that the creature that ripped the guy apart is the same thing that came out of the vat?
You don't know. That there's no way to discern
but
that.
would it be a good deduction to think that?
It's possible. There is one thing you can discern because you do have an intelligence of 5. There is one thing you know. The creature that grabbed the man out of the vat did not have clawed hands. Whatever took that door down had clawed hands.
So we're talking about two separate creatures. One that escaped from the vat, and one that's running around ripping people apart.
That is a possibility, yes.
Okay, so I'll probably just fall back on my ass and hyperventilate for a few seconds. Because I need to try to get back into focus here.
So it seems like with some of my abilities, I can heal physical damage. Does that
Yes.
apply to emotional damage?
Negative.
Okay.
So at this point,
And that's not
all
my
of you-
medicine. That's
Yeah,
that's
I know.
my okay.
by the way, Jacqueline, your danger sense goes off at this point.
Oh,
And
lovely.
Flash, your biosense is pinging down that hallway, and all of you hear coming from all the way down the tunnel. Help me!
That was good.
That was good.
What? Oh, that's an interesting ringtone.
Ding ding. Someone make that into a ringtone. I'll fucking use it.
Like a horror movie set in sci-fi.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this would be a really good point for a break.
If
Yeah.
you guys wish
Yep.
to take a break, we will go ahead and take an intermission.
Hey,
Now-
that is a
Yeah.
great point for an intermission.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
okay,
we're going to take a break.
Alright.
How long?
10?
Uh,
15?
15?
15-minute break? Sure, we'll take a
Okay.
15-minute.
Bye.
See you
Cool.
I'll go
Gives
ahead
me
and get
enough
up.
time to smoke.